I finally have some time to sit down and talk to you about the changes that will be important for you on Monday, because on Monday the cryopods are going to be changed for PvP and for PvE, but in different ways. In PvE, the restrictions that have been put on cryopods in ASA will be lifted completely, and for PvP, the enemy check will be removed. That is especially handy if you get raided and you want to pot out your dinosaurs to defend yourself and there are enemies close by. But I think to understand how much of a big deal this is and why cryopods always have been a very controversial topic in ARK Survival Evolved and ARK Survival Ascended as well, I'm going to tell you the story of the cryopods. Because if it was up to the ARK founders, we wouldn't have cryopods at all. Not in Survival Evolved, and especially not in Survival Ascended. The reason why cryopods were developed and why cryopods are in the game now is because ARK servers have been notoriously full. Even on ASE servers back in Legacy, that was such a long-lasting problem that servers were dino-capped. This was especially a thing because people did not want other people to join their servers, and therefore they would stuff the servers with dinos over and over and over again. To battle these problems, cryos have been introduced to the developers in many different versions, and each and every time they were declined. Reason? Cryo make the game too easy, so they didn't want to have cryos in the game. And just in case you're wondering, this is a statement that is still true up to this day. Parts of the developer team still do not like cryos in the game. But then there was no denial that the cryos needed to be the emergency solution for the problem of full servers, laggy servers, people not being able to play on servers, so cryos were put into the game finally. Because if you're looking at it from this way, we do have two games with ARK Survival Evolved and ARK Survival Ascended that encourages the player to collect dinosaurs, because we have so many things we can collect on dinosaurs. We have traits, we have colors, we have stats. There's probably more that is about to come, but a game that wants you to collect dinosaurs needs a way to store dinosaurs. And I'm absolutely convinced that the developers never thought how many dinos people are going to have and how much people are going to collect dinosaurs. I don't think they ever imagined the amount of hours people will put into the game to do that. Because just as an example, if you remember, there used to be a statement many years back when they introduced the server cap, and the statement was that they kept the level for the dinosaur at 450 because they didn't think that there was a legit legal way to get above that, to get above level 450. And let's be honest, we're all breeders here. We know this is like 3 or 4 months no lifing and we get above this. So that meant the ARK developers at some point came to the conclusion and came to the realization our players are pretty cray-cray when it comes to investing time into playing this game. And this ultimately made the cryopods a staple in ARK Survival Evolved, and players formed and molded their game style to having cryopods. And when then ARK Survival Ascended restarted without cryopods, this was an attempt of the developers to have a game without cryopods at all. And we all know how that happened, and we all know how that went, because it did not go well. The servers were capped within 3 weeks after launch. Server cap, no dino could be tamed anymore. And that made them come to the conclusion, while you can change the game, you cannot change the player. And if a player is accustomed to a playstyle which includes cryopods, then you cannot get this out of the player. And this led then to long discussions in ARK Survival Ascended if cryos should be established in the game. And in the end, we got what we have until now. And this is the very much nerfed version of a cryopod, which uses the cryopod purely as a storage method and as a transport method, but in no way as a game mechanic where you can just unpod stuff. And this nerfing of the cryopod then led to another thing, which was you can't uncryo dinos in caves anymore, which made caves significantly harder, which I was a fan of because I do like challenging gameplay. And it was okay until they introduced the pyromane. Because the pyromane, you can just sit on your shoulder, go into the cave and put it in front of your feet, and there you have a cave tame. Which made the pyromane kind of pay to win, because you could negate a restricting game mechanic by paying for it. So while I was not against the nerfs that have been put on the cryos for PvE, I'm now kind of happy that they are removed, because that evens the playfield between Pyromain users and non-Pyromain users fairly. I mean, the biggest effect it will have on PvE in a way that we will not see unpod stations anymore. Have you looked on official servers how many cryo unpod stations there are everywhere? This is such a pet peeve of mine when people are littering a map with these kind of things. I'm so happy that these are going to be gone, hopefully very soon. The timing in which they're introducing these changes now is very interesting, because as far as I know, during the charity event, they still said they're not going to put any changes to the cryopods. And it is anyway funny, because the rumors that the cryopods are going to be reverted came from the PvP community, and now the PvP community is not the one getting the changes. I'm a little bit sassy today when it comes to that. I'm sorry. Sorry, PvP players. But that also shows us that many restrictions that we have in the game are basically PvP restrictions that are put on PvE, because there is a lack of differentiation between the settings of PvP and PvE. And this is something we have asked for ARK Survival Ascended, and if we see more of this, I'm very happy about that. But all the waiting is over on Monday, and all the changes to the cryopods that have been put on them in ARK Survival Ascended are going to be removed for PvE players and a little bit lifted for PvP players. But what is your opinion about the PvP changes and the PvE changes to the cryopods? Are you okay with it? Are you not okay with it? Do you not like the Pyromain? Do you like the Pyromain? Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!